I have an unpopular opinion. Nobody wants to admit this, but our protein obsession, it's actually worsening our metabolic health. This obsession is interfering with metabolic healing. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand where it's coming from. Everybody's talking about it. Your doctor's probably talking about it. Your trainer's talking about it. Every influencer online is talking about it. The scientists are talking about it. But you know what? We cannot reduce health to one single macro component. You may have been told that protein affects satiety, and if you have enough protein, then you'll be full enough. It's very reductionist. Our digestive system is complex. Our bodies are amazing, intelligent vessels. So by just saying protein alone controls satiety, it's just simply misguided. It's wrong, Betty. And I would argue that our reductionist focus on protein has us hungry and is feeding food noise and actually causing more problems than it's helping. Not just protein, it's the combination of nutrients. It's the fiber, it's the fat, it's the vitamins, it's the minerals, it's all of these things working together that helps with your satiety. One macro alone does not control hunger. Another big thing is when you're obsessed with solely protein, you miss out on all of the other things. I have women come to my office all the time and they're missing major nutrients because they're hitting their protein goals, but they're missing all the others. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, all of the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, these micronutrients that help your body thrive, they are equally, if not more important than protein. Not only that, if you're consuming mostly whole unprocessed foods, all those foods contain all of the different macro components. And that should be the goal, is to focus on whole food. The last thing, if protein was so vital, then the blue zones, the areas around the world that we hold up because of their longevity and their low risk of chronic disease, they are not protein obsessed. They're not chasing a protein goal. In fact, their protein intake is actually much below the standard American diet. You know what they do eat in the blue zones? Fruits and vegetables, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, whole grains. All of these whole foods form the foundation of what they consume on a daily basis. Not only that, they are focused on flavor and texture and taste and enjoyment, not chasing a macro. So I know the macro conversation is really confusing, and it makes it even worse because when we talk about protein, are we talking about a steak that also has saturated fat? Or are we talking about a bean that comes with fiber and other nutrients? This is really important. The distinction is there. So the reductionist thinking of just looking at a macro instead of the quality of the food that you consume is very harmful. So we're talking about insulin resistance is really the quality of the food. And I would argue that consuming more of the whole unprocessed plant foods, that is the key to actually reversing insulin resistance and letting go of the food confusion. When we do this, not only will we address our satiety, we'll make sure that we're getting enough of the micronutrients and macronutrients, and we work towards reversing insulin resistance and longevity. Because if we follow what people in the blue zones are doing, this is what we should be focused on. So instead of counting macros, focusing on a protein goal, why not ask, hey, did I have beans today? Did I have some greens? Maybe I had some nuts and seeds. Did I add some flavor to my food? Because those herbs and spices, they actually are also really important. So when we build our foundation and we're consuming all of these foundational foods, those fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, not only does our body get what it needs to heal, but we can actually let go of the control and trust that our body knows what to do when it's given the right tools. And we can also trust our own satiety cues. We need to start listening to our bodies more and consuming those vibrant plant foods, that rainbow, our satiety will catch up. And while it's not an overnight change, it is a change worth waiting for. So the goal is not a perfect macro split or balance. The goal, again, is to build your foundation on these foods that are healing. If you're ready for clarity, if you're ready to make the steps to actually reverse insulin resistance in a sustainable way, if you're ready to trust your body again, if you're ready to just feel good and more confident in your choices, I encourage you to join me. Join me on the Nourished Path. It's a 5-day experience to clarity and building the foundation towards reversing insulin resistance. The link is in my bio, or comment below and I'll send you the details. Comment Nourished and I'll send it your way.